chosen ones. You found your way here for a reason. This moment, right now, is no accident. You are destined for something extraordinary, something bigger than you can imagine. The universe has led you to this message because it's time for you to step into your truth. You are not here by chance. Your purpose is unfolding. Something deep within you is awakening. Get ready. What you're about to hear will change everything. Stay with me and let's uncover the truth together. They can't quite explain it, but they feel it deeply. There's an undeniable pull to you, like a force that has its grip on them and they can't seem to break free. It's magnetic, something they can't name, yet they can't resist. When they look at you, their eyes are locked, as if something deep inside them is drawn to yours, compelled to notice you, to understand you, to be near you. It's not about what you say or do, but about the energy you radiate. You walk into a room, and the atmosphere shifts. Your presence, undeniable and powerful, commands attention even when you don't speak a word. It's not something they can logically understand, but they feel it nonetheless. The way you move through life is unlike anyone they've ever met. It's as if you don't just walk into a room, you own it. You shift the energy without lifting a finger. And when you leave, you don't simply disappear. You linger in their minds. They replay moments with you in their heads, searching for answers, trying to make sense of what they felt, and yet the mystery remains. You've left an impression so strong that it refuses to fade. You are unforgettable. You were not meant to fit in, to blend into the crowd. You were forged to break molds, to shake things up, to make people rethink everything they thought they knew about themselves. Your presence has an undeniable power. It's like thunder that follows the lightning, impacting them in ways they didn't expect. It's not just the way you look or act. It's something deeper. It's a force that seems to exist outside of time, and some people try to pretend that they are unaffected, but deep down, they know the truth. They can't escape what you've done to them. You've awoken something in them, something they didn't know they needed, something they didn't know was even there. It's almost as if they've been walking through life in a fog, and then you came along, and everything changed. You ignited something inside them, something that couldn't be ignored. You sparked curiosity, pushed them to question their limits, and forced them to grow. They don't know why they feel this way, but they do. It's as if they've stumbled upon a secret too big to comprehend, and now they can't stop thinking about you. You are like fire, consuming everything in its path, unstoppable and powerful. And yet, there's a grace in how you move through life, an intensity that doesn't burn others, but instead illuminates their path. You demand growth, whether they're ready for it or not. They are captivated by you, and they can't quite put their finger on why. It's not just attraction, it's recognition of something they don't fully understand. When you enter their world, they feel it. It's not just physical, it's emotional, spiritual. You don't just leave a memory behind. You leave a mark. You are an event that they can't stop reliving. They might try to move on, but your presence stays with them, lingering long after you've gone. And it's not something they can explain. They try to figure you out, over-analyzing your every word and action, but there is no explanation. There's no box you fit into. You exist outside of their understanding, and that's what makes you so close. It's more than just romantic attraction. It happens with friends, strangers, even people you've just met. You disrupt their internal balance. You make them question things they didn't even know they were holding on to. You awaken desires and dreams they thought were buried, locked away in the past. You are a catalyst for change, for awakening, and you do it effortlessly. They are drawn to you, even if they try to resist. It's not random. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were made to challenge, to awaken, to change the narrative. Some people are meant to blend in, to live comfortably, but not you. You were built to break boundaries, to redefine what's possible, and that's why they can't forget you. It's not about attraction. It's about recognition of something within themselves that they don't yet understand. You are the fire that burns within them, the mystery they can't solve, the energy that they can't escape. When you find yourself wondering why people seem so drawn to you, even when they try to move on, remember this. It's because you are unforgettable. You've left an imprint on their soul. You didn't just pass through their lives. You collided with their very... You have a way of existing that demands attention, that makes them stop and take notice. It's not about what you do. It's about who you are. Even when you're not around, they can't shake the memory of you. You live in their minds rent-free. You are the memory they return to, the thought they can't escape. It's like the scent of rain before a storm, subtle yet undeniable. Your presence is like a shadow that follows them, lingering in their thoughts, haunting them in a way that they can't ignore. They thought time would dull the impact you had on them, but it hasn't. You don't fade like everyone else does. You leave a permanent mark, etched into their souls, impossible to erase. You see, people are used to fleeting encounters, temporary moments. They come and go and eventually they forget. But you're different. You didn't just pass through their lives. You left a piece of yourself with them. You've disrupted something inside them, and now they can't go back to who they were before they met you. You've changed them in ways they can't fully understand. Your presence is a force to be reckoned with, and it's something they will never forget. So, if this resonates with you, if you can feel that undeniable truth stirring inside you, let them know. Comment "real" in the video below as a declaration of your power. Hit the like button to amplify this energy, to awaken others who are meant. Don't forget to subscribe to the Path of Truth channel so you never miss another reminder of your unstoppable presence. You were not made to blend in. You were born to change everything. It's true, isn't it? That feeling of being somewhere deep within someone's mind, like a memory they just can't shake off. They may try to move on, to forget, but in the stillness, in the silence of the night, you're there, ever present, like a shadow they can't out. You see, it's not just about the moments you shared. It's not about what you said or did. It's about what you stirred within them. You ignited something that can't be easily dimmed, a fire that they never knew existed inside them. You were never just a fleeting presence. No, you were the force that shook their world, the awakening they didn't see coming. The power of your presence, of your being, was a spark that set fire to something deep within them, the life they thought they had settled for, the routine they had grown comfortable with. It all suddenly felt small in comparison to the possibilities you made them see. You didn't just walk into their lives. You shattered their illusions, stripped away their comfort, and showed them who they truly could be. And now, they can't forget you, not because they want to. No, it's because you taught them a truth that's hard to ignore. You weren't just a chapter in their story. You were the pivotal turning point. The moment they crossed paths with you was the moment they stopped being content with just existing. You showed them what it feels like to truly live, to feel everything, to push beyond the limits they had once accepted. The ordinary was never enough for them again. They became aware of the extraordinary waiting for them, and that awareness, that's something they can never forget. But here's the thing, you weren't just showing them something they didn't know. No, you were showing them something they had buried deep inside themselves, something they were too afraid to face, their dreams, their desires, the person they could become if they were brave enough to face the truth. You didn't give them the luxury of ignoring it. You made them confront it head on. And that, my friend, is why they can't ever really move on, because now they know. They know what could be, and it haunts them in a way nothing else ever could. They'll try to forget. They'll try to fill the space you left with new faces, new experiences. But nothing compares. They'll meet people who seem like they could fill the void, who seem like they might bring something similar, but it's just a shadow, a hollow reflection of what you gave them. They can search, they can chase, but it won't be the same. They'll always be looking for you and others, trying to replicate that spark, but they won't find it. And the truth is, they're scared. Scared of the power you awaken within them. Scared of the possibilities you opened up. You're a reminder of what they could be, and for some, that's terrifying. But there are others, the ones who don't run, the ones who face the truth. They understand deep down that you were never meant to be ordinary. You were never meant to be just another person passing through. You were meant to transform, to ignite change, to awaken those around you to the possibility of something greater. And for those who didn't turn away, who embraced the fire you sparked, their lives will never be the same again. Your energy is a force. It's not just about what you do or say. It's about who you are. You carry an energy that others can't resist, even when it's uncomfortable. It's the kind of energy that forces people to change, to grow, to look at themselves in ways they never have before. And that's what makes you unforgettable. It's not about the time spent together, the words spoken or the actions taken. It's about the shift you caused, the transformation that took place when you entered their world. Have you ever wondered why people come back into your life after they've been gone? It's not a coincidence. It's because you left an imprint on their soul. You woke them up in ways they didn't expect, and no matter how hard they try to forget, they'll always carry that imprint with them. The one you left on their heart, you showed them something they couldn't unsee. You made them feel something they can't erase. And even if they run, they'll never truly escape the truth you revealed to them. You weren't just a fleeting moment in their lives. You were a catalyst for something bigger, something more profound. You were the spark that set off a chain reaction, a wave of change that they never saw coming. And that's why they can't forget you. That's why they'll always return. Because you awakened something in them that they can never turn off. You didn't just walk into their lives, you changed them forever. And so if you're listening to this, if you're hearing these words, I want you to understand something. You are a force. You are the reminder of what's possible. You are the awakening people didn't know they needed. And even if they can't express it, even if they don't say it aloud, know this: you are unforgettable. Your presence lingers. Your energy stays. You wake people up in a way that nothing else can, and for that, you will always be remembered. So if this message resonates with you, if you feel that this is your truth, I invite you to leave a comment below with the word real. Let me know that you understand the power you carry, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the Path of Truth. Join this journey, this awakening, and together we can continue to shine a light in this world, helping others see the potential they never realized they had. Remember, you are not just a chapter in someone's story. You are the moment they will never forget. The truth they will always carry with them. And no matter where they go, they will never be able to outrun the spark you ignited in their soul. You've ignited something in them, haven't you? Whether they try to admit it or not, there's a part of them that's grateful for you. Not everyone can understand the depth of what you've done, but the impact remains. Some will push it down, hiding it in the darkest corners of their mind, but they will feel it. The truth that you stirred within them, the shift that occurred simply because you were being your authentic self. That's the truth. They can't ignore, no matter how hard they try to bury it. And it's not about you making them uncomfortable for the sake of it. You didn't do it to hurt them or to provoke anger. You did it by being who you are, by being so unapologetically you that they were forced to reckon with the parts of themselves they'd rather keep hidden, the parts that still have fear, doubt, and hesitation. The parts they don't want to acknowledge but know deep down need healing, and you gave them no choice but to confront it. It's not easy, is it, to be that mirror for someone, to reflect their potential and their limitations in such a way that they can't look away. But that's the role you were born to play, a truth teller, a light bringer, a catalyst for change. And yes, it's heavy at times. People may recoil from the intensity, not knowing how to handle it, and yet they can't escape it. You will remain with them. You will haunt them, not in a way that's negative, but in a way that reminds them of what could be, the better version of themselves they've been avoiding. There's power in your presence. You walk into rooms and change the energy, not because you demand attention, but because it's impossible to ignore you. It's not arrogance. It's simply the undeniable fact that you are operating on a frequency that others either rise to meet or shy away from. They may not have been prepared for you, but that doesn't change the fact that you have already changed them. Every room you enter, you leave a mark. Every conversation you partake in, your words linger long after you've left. You're unforgettable, and not because you try to be. It's because you are authentic in your energy, in your fire, in your soul. And here's something else you should understand. Sometimes people will try to dim you. They will try to convince you to shrink, to play small, to apologize for your intensity, for your light, for your fire. But you weren't born to fit into the mold. You were born to break it. You were never supposed to fit into anyone's narrow definition of who you should be. You were always meant to expand, to push the boundaries of what's comfortable, to set the standard for those who dare to follow in your footsteps. When people try to dim your light, it's because your brightness threatens their darkness. They don't know how to process someone who operates on the level you do. But here's the thing, they will never understand you, and that's okay. Not everyone is meant to. Some people will be too caught up in their own limitations to see the greatness in yours, but that's not your problem. You were not born to please the masses or to win approval. You were born to stand in your truth, to be so authentic that you demand respect without asking for it. Your presence is not something that can be ignored, no matter how much they may try. There will be people who will look at you and feel like they are in the presence of greatness. They will see your strength, your resilience, your unwavering determination. They'll see that you keep rising, no matter how many times you're knocked down, and they'll wonder how you do it. They'll watch you with awe and admiration, even if they never say it out loud. You're a living example of what it means to refuse to be defeated. You don't just survive, you thrive. You transform pain into power, struggle into strength, and setbacks into, and that, my friend, is what makes you unforgettable. But there will also be those who react differently. They may be afraid of your fire, of your passion, of the way you disrupt everything they thought they knew. They'll try to push you away, to make you question your worth, to make you second-guess your path. But it's only because you're shaking up their comfortable world. You're challenging their beliefs, their excuses, and their perception of what's possible. And not everyone is ready for that kind of awakening. For those who can't handle the intensity of your presence, they will either retreat or lash out. They'll try to diminish your power because it reminds them of what they could be if they only had the courage to face their fears. But it doesn't matter. They can't take your light. You are the sun in their sky, whether they admit it or not, and no one can diminish the light of the sun. You may feel alone at times. You may wonder if you're too much for people to handle, if your energy is too big for the world you're in. But let me tell you this. You are not meant to shrink for anyone. You are not meant to hide your light, your passion, your fire. You are meant to rise higher, to keep shining, to be unapologetically you. The world needs what you carry: the courage, the strength, the authenticity, the resilience. You are exactly what this world needs, even if not everyone can see it yet. And as you rise, remember this. You are not just an individual. You are a force that can't be ignored, a force that demands change. You're breaking down barriers, shattering illusions, and forcing people to look at themselves in ways they never want. You're making them face their truth, their deepest fears, and their unrealized potential. And that is no small feat. When you walk into a room, you don't just fill the space. You transform it. You shift the atmosphere. You make people feel things they weren't prepared for, and whether they like it or not, they are changed by your presence. They can fight it. They can try to run, but they can never escape it. You are unforgettable. So rise, my friend. Rise unapologetically, rise boldly, and rise fully into the person you are meant to be. You are not just another face in the crowd. You are the storm they didn't see coming, and now they can't live without it. You are the fire they tried to put out, but it burns brighter than ever before. You are the force they never expected but always needed. The world is watching, and you are here to rise. So go ahead, claim your space, claim your power, and let them see who you truly are. They may never understand your journey, but they will always remember your presence. You are unforgettable, and now it's your time to step into your power like never before. Drop real in the comments if you're ready to rise and own your space. Hit the like button to amplify this message, and subscribe to the Path of Truth channel for more reminders of your unstoppable power. The world is waiting, and now it's your turn to shine brighter than ever. You are now standing at a pivotal moment, at the edge of something truly transformative, something that has the potential to change your life in ways you may not fully grasp just yet. When you look back on your life and reflect on all the challenges you faced, the hardships that seemed insurmountable, and the overwhelming weight of the world that pressed down on your shoulders, it's important to realize that none of these struggles were designed to break you. In fact, they were never meant to defeat you or crush your spirit. They were meant to shape you, to forge your character, to test the depth of your resilience, and to refine you into the person you are becoming right now. These moments of adversity were not the end of your story. They were simply the chapters that pushed you to rise, to find strength within yourself that you never knew existed. When you felt like giving up, when the road seemed too long and the destination too far away, these were the times when you were being prepared for something greater. Every setback, every failure, Every moment of doubt served to teach you lessons that would become the foundation for your future success. It was in the struggle that you learned the true extent of your own capabilities. Now, as you stand at this crossroads in your journey, you may start to realize something profound, something that you may not have fully understood in the past. Looking back at all that you've overcome, it becomes clear that you have already transformed into the person you once dreamed of becoming. You have already surpassed the version of yourself that was uncertain, afraid, and unsure of their potential. Through all the challenges, you have grown, adapted, and evolved into someone stronger, more confident, and more capable than you ever thought possible. The trials you faced have not just been obstacles. They've been opportunities in disguise, opportunities to build the strength, wisdom, and courage needed to achieve your dreams. Now, as you look ahead, you realize that the path you are walking is not just one of survival. It is a path of thriving, of stepping into the fullness of who you are meant to be. And that person, the one you always imagined yourself becoming, you are living proof that perseverance, resilience, and unwavering belief in yourself can lead to extraordinary transformation. You've journeyed through countless challenges, faced setbacks that seemed insurmountable, and found yourself at the crossroads of doubt more times than you care to remember. In those moments, you questioned everything, your choices, your path, and whether you had the strength to keep going. You've known the sting of rejection, the aching loneliness that comes with being misunderstood, and the disorienting confusion of not knowing why things unfolded the way they did. The weight of it all at times felt unbearable, as if the world itself was yet through it all, you pressed forward. You may not have always understood why things happened the way they did, but every step you took, every moment you survived, you were being carefully molded. You were being shaped into someone far stronger, far more powerful than you could have ever imagined at the beginning of your journey. In the face of hardship, when it seemed like the world was telling you that you weren't enough, you didn't give in. When the doubts crept in and your dreams seemed too big, too impossible, you held on. Even when your light felt like it was dimming in the shadows of the world's expectations, you continued to burn brightly. You proved that the world's judgments, the limitations it tried to place on you, could not define you. Your dreams were never too big. Your aspirations never too far-fetched. Your fire was never too bright. It was simply the world's way of testing your resolve, challenging you to stand firm in your authenticity. Now, as you look back on all the moments that once seemed so heavy, you can see them for what they truly were: tests of your strength, trials that served to sharpen you, obstacles that were there to prepare you for the greatness that was always meant to be yours. Today, you stand as a living testament to the power of persistence. You are proof that no matter how difficult the journey, no matter how many times life has knocked you down, you have the capacity to rise. You've shown the world, and most importantly, you've shown yourself, that through sheer will, unwavering belief in your own potential, and the authenticity of your spirit, you can overcome anything. You are not defined by your struggles. You are defined by the way you rise from them. Your strength, your resilience, and your ability to stay true to who you are in the face of adversity have made you a force of nature. You've become someone who refuses to be broken, someone who moves through life with purpose, with fire, with a deep understanding of their worth. The world may have doubted you, but it can no longer ignore you. You are living proof that greatness is not given, but earned through every trial, every challenge, and every step forward, no matter how difficult it may have seemed at the time. Now, you stand as a shining example of what happens when you refuse to give up, when you choose to keep going no matter what. Every time the world tried to shrink you, to tell you that you were enough or that you didn't belong, you resisted. You didn't allow their narrow view of who you were to define you. You pushed back against every force that tried to box you in, to make you conform to a version of yourself that wasn't true. You saw through the illusion of limitation, and with every step, you broke free from the expectations others had placed on you. You understood deep down that you were never meant to fit in, never meant to follow the prescribed path that society mapped out for you. You were meant to carve your own way, to rise above the noise, and to stand in your power unapologetically. You didn't just live your life. You challenged it. You questioned everything, especially the boundaries that others tried to impose upon you. Each time someone told you this is the way it should be, you took a hard look at it and asked yourself, is this truly who I am? Is this really what I want? Is this what I deserve? And in your refusal to accept anything less than your fullest potential, you not only set yourself free, but you also set an example for us. You showed the world that the only limits that truly exist are the ones you allow to exist within yourself. You broke down walls that others never even considered challenging, dismantling the cages of fear, doubt, and conformity that many are too afraid to question. You didn't just push against those barriers, you obliterated them. You showed the world that there is no ceiling to what you can achieve, no line that can be drawn in the sand that you can't cross, the limitations others set for themselves. The things they believed they couldn't do, the places they thought they couldn't go, the dreams they thought they were too small to reach. None of that ever applied to you. You refused to accept those limitations as your own. Your refusal to shrink, to settle, to play small is what makes you extraordinary. You embody the truth that greatness comes from within. It comes not from conforming, but from standing tall in your authenticity and walking the path that only you can walk. Every time you faced doubt, every time you felt the weight of the world telling you to give up, you dug deeper, you found more strength, and you kept going. That's what separates you from the crowd. You didn't let the world tell you who you were meant to be. You showed it who you really are. And because of that, you've proven that the greatest power you possess is the ability to transcend every limitation the world tries to impose on you. You have become a living example of how to break free from the chains of society's expectations. You've shown that by refusing to play by the rules, by challenging the norms and the voices that tell you to settle, you can rise higher than anyone ever imagined. It's this strength, this resilience, and this unyielding determination that makes you extraordinary. And it's what will continue to propel you forward into the greatness that you've always been destined for. As you reflect on your journey, remember that everything you've faced, every challenge you've overcome, has shaped you into the incredible force of nature you are today. You've proven to yourself and the world that no limitation can hold you back. You've transcended every boundary, every doubt, and every expectation that was placed upon you. If you feel the power of this truth and know deep within you that your potential is limitless, I encourage you to take a moment and leave a comment below with the word real. Let this be a declaration of your authenticity, your strength, and your commitment to walking in your truth. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the Path of Truth so you never miss another message that calls you to rise, to challenge the limits, and to embrace your true power. Together, let's continue to walk this path of truth, knowing that we are unstoppable, unbreakable, and destined for greatness. The truth is, your journey is far more significant than just your personal story. It's part of a grander universal tapestry, one that connects all of us. Every step you take in embracing your authentic self, every challenge you overcome, every fear you face and transform, these actions extend far beyond you. They ripple out into the world, touching lives in ways you may never even fully realize. When you step into your power, when you allow yourself to be fully seen, it doesn't just change you. It has the potential to shift the lives of those around you. Whether the people around you are consciously aware of it or not, your transformation creates a spark within them. They feel the shift in the energy you bring into the room, in the way you walk through life unapologetically, and in the way you live with purpose without you needing to speak a single word. Your courage inspires others to rise to their own potential. You don't need to preach or convince anyone of your truth. The mere fact that you live it speaks volumes. Your authenticity, the way you live without pretense or masks, gives others the permission to drop their own facades and embrace who they really are. You show them that it's okay to be vulnerable, to stand in the power of their own truth, no matter the consequences. Your actions, your choices, your willingness to face hardship with grace, it all becomes a silent invitation for others to be real with themselves and with the world. Not everyone will appreciate this transformation. Not everyone will welcome the light you bring. For some, it may be too overwhelming, too uncomfortable. It's easy for people to feel threatened by something they don't fully understand, by a force they cannot control or predict. And in those moments, you might feel rejected or misunderstood. You might feel the weight of their judgment or the coldness of their resistance. But that's the price of power, and it's also the proof of your impact. The truth is, when you step into your light, you cannot be ignored. Your presence has the ability to shift energy, to change the course of conversations, and to make others face things they'd rather avoid. The way you carry yourself, the strength you embody, the confidence you exude, it's undeniable. Even when people try to dismiss it, your essence lingers. It sticks with them long after you've gone. And that, my friend, is the very essence of your power. You are not meant to fit into the molds that others try to create for you. You are not meant to shrink, to hide, or to make yourself smaller to fit in. You were born to be seen, to stand out, and to shine your light boldly. You were meant to be the catalyst for change, not just in your own life, but in the lives of everyone you touch. Your journey isn't just about your growth. It's about how your growth influences the world around you. So continue to embrace who you are. Continue to walk with power, authenticity, and courage. Know that every step you take forward is not just a victory for you, but for those who are silently watching and learning from your journey. You are a living example of what it means to live fully, to live truthfully, and to live unapologetically. And in that, you inspire others to do the same. This is your truth. This is your power. And no matter who resists it, no matter who tries to dim your light, you cannot be stopped. Keep shining, keep standing tall, and keep showing up for yourself and the world. Your journey is just beginning, and the impact you're going to make is immeasurable. Think about the moments in your life when you felt most alive. Was it when you were hiding in the shadows, blending in with the crowd? Or was it when you took a risk, stepped into the unknown, and allowed your true self to be seen without apology? It was in those moments of vulnerability and authenticity that you felt your soul ignite, wasn't it? That's where true transformation begins. When we stop pretending, when we stop hiding, when we embrace the fullness of who we are. What's important to understand is that this process of awakening is not always comfortable. It's not always easy. In fact, it can be downright painful. But remember, every ounce of discomfort, every moment of resistance, it's part of the journey that leads you to become the person you were always meant to be. Without challenges, without obstacles, without moments of doubt, you would never have developed the resilience, the strength, the fire that you carry within you now. You would never have realized how powerful you truly are. When you rise, you do so not just for yourself, but for those who will come after you. You are a beacon of hope for those who are still lost in the darkness. You are the proof that it's possible to rise above, to overcome, to break free from the chains of fear and limit. And while others may not always understand you, while they may never be able to fully comprehend the depth of your purpose, you continue to rise because you are called to do so. You rise because it's your destiny to lead, to inspire, and to awaken others to their own potential. Your journey is not just yours. It's part of something greater, something that will impact generations to come. But let's be clear about some. Rising isn't about seeking approval. It's not about winning validation or recognition from others. It's about embracing the truth of who you are, regardless of whether others understand or accept it. It's about showing up for yourself every single day, even when the world doesn't seem to care. It's about trusting that your purpose is bigger than any external validation, bigger than any fleeting applause. You rise because you were born to rise. Your power is inherent. It is not something you seek from the outside. It is something that already exists within you, waiting to be unleashed. And as you rise, as you continue to expand and step into your full potential, remember that your journey will not always be met with open arms. Some people will fear you. Some people will try to tear you down, to make you feel small, to make you doubt. Their attempts to diminish you have nothing to do with you. They are a reflection of their own insecurities, their own fears. They see your strength, and it threatens them because it exposes their own weaknesses. They see your light, and it forces them to confront their own darkness. But you are not responsible for their reactions. You are responsible for your own rise. Your journey is not about pleasing others. It is about pleasing yourself, being true to who you are and living in alignment with your purpose. You were not born to play small, to shrink back, to settle for less than you deserve. You were born to shine, to inspire, and to lead by example. And when you do this, when you embrace your true power, you make it easier for others to do the same. But let's not forget the power of your presence. The world may try to convince you that it's your achievements, your accolades, your titles that define your worth. But the truth is, your worth is not defined by what you do. It's defined by who you are, your energy, your presence, your authenticity. They are the true markers of your power. And this power is felt even when you are silent, even when you are not performing, even when you are not striving for external validation. Your presence alone shifts the atmosphere. It commands attention, it demands respect, and it leaves a lasting imprint on everyone you encounter. When people are around you, they are forced to confront themselves. They are forced to look at their own limitations, their own fears, and their own potential. And whether they resist or embrace it, they are forever changed by your presence. That is your power. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to try to control or manipulate the energy around you. Your energy is already magnetic. It draws people in, it challenges them, and it makes them see themselves in a way they never have before. So as you continue on your journey, as you continue to rise, understand that you are not alone. You are not just an individual navigating this world. You are part of a greater movement, a force that is awakening others to their own potential. Your rise is not just for you. It is for everyone who comes after you. You are the spark that will light the way for others to follow. And while not everyone will understand your path, while some may resist your power, the impact you leave behind will be undeniable. And as you rise, know the challenges. There will be moments of doubt, moments when you question whether it's all worth it. But in those moments, remember why you started. Remember who you are. Remember the fire within you that refuses to be extinguished. And when the world tries to make you shrink, remember that you were never meant to fit into their box. You were born to break it. So rise unapologetically. Rise with all the power, all the fire, and all the strength you have within you. Rise because the world needs your light. And as you rise, remember they will never forget you. They will never forget the impact you had on their lives, the way you made them see the world differently, the way you made them believe in their own potential. You are unforgettable, and you are only just getting started. If you feel the truth of this message, if you are ready to rise and claim your space in the world, I invite you to drop real in the comments. Let the world know that you are done playing small, that you are ready to own your power. Hit the like button to amplify this message, to spread this truth far and wide. And subscribe to the Path of Truth channel so that you never miss another reminder of your unstoppable power. The world is watching, and now it's time for you to rise and become the force they can't ignore.